Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to episode 5 of the Adaptive Podcast. We are coming to you live February 19th at 9:35 p.m. We are here once again with you. If you guys can tell, we have a little bit of an upgrade, a little bit of a surprise. We're hoping that we look and sound much better this week. So just as a little bit of an intro here, we are Adaptive Jiu-Jitsu, a jiu-jitsu and media company. We are promoting some gear, going over some UFC stuff, general fight philosophies, jiu-jitsu philosophies. I'm here with Ed and Elijah. Ed is a brown belt. I'm a purple belt. Elijah's a blue belt. And, we're kind of just bringing our perspectives to you week after week. Thanks again for joining. You guys have been a great part of the show. Please like, subscribe, comment live, interact with us during the show. You make it better. It's amazing. And so with that, before we get started, we want to share a little bit of another video with you guys here to kind of show a backstory of our upgrade today. So let me pull that up and we'll show you guys what is good with that today. Oh no.
Never mind.
Sorry about that, guys. No,
Not doing that.
Here it is. All right, let's scrap that. Sorry about that. Okay, so Ed, Elijah, what's up, guys?
All right, so
yeah, that was holy shit, the video didn't want to play, so I'm sorry about that, guys. But
it's all right.
We'll show it to you at a different time. It was a time lapse of us putting.
I don't know what happened.
It wasn't that exciting.
No.
But I guess today we had a fun topic in mind for you guys. We're gonna talk about like pretty much dirty fighters in combat sports, whether it's boxing or MMA or UFC or any of those kind of things. I know Eli's more of a little boxing expert. If you want to get into it a little bit.
Yeah, I'll start us off. So taking a look at dirty fighters, when you look at boxing, it's a beautiful art, and when you compare it to MMA, a lot of people, like myself, I used to think of it more along the lines of like, all right, what is this? Like, you've taken everything beautiful out of the sport. Now, especially doing jiu-jitsu, things have opened up for me, and now I realize, like, it's basically like checkers and chess. But at the same time, it's a really complicated checkers. Anyway, so when we start talking about like dirty fighters in boxing, I think it's changed over the years a lot. Going back to the grassroots in this country and the boxing that we saw, it was, from everything I read, dirty. I mean, they would let things happen and the crowd would go crazy. And then with video replay and broadcasting the fights and whatnot, and people becoming more knowledgeable of boxing, they would get upset when the rules, when it wasn't a fair or equal challenge.
Did you get upset? Did you feel like
I wasn't alive?
Well, no, I mean,
I wasn't alive back then in like the 50s and 60s and whatnot. I mean, by the time I was watching boxing, it'd be tough to see somebody that was as dirty as what they were seeing back then.
Well, sure, I guess like every sport, but like, dude, cheating goes on in all sports and stuff like that. Like, but my point being is, like, do you think, like, for you personally, does it make it more like something like, all right, like Tyson fighting, Holyfield's ear? That's still talked about. You saw some crazy history right there.
I think it kind of is what it is, because like,
does it add to the story?
It's just like in baseball, there's cheating. Like, it's just part of the sport. It's part of life. I mean, in life you deal with unfair situations and things that are what they are. Yeah, do they got to rise out of me when I see something against like a fighter that I like or something? But
would you consider it dirty, right? If you're using steroids?
Okay, so that's a tough one, man. You're going down a whole nother branch now. I mean,
right.
If you're talking steroids, in a lot of situations, people will say they should just open the doors and let people do whatever they want.
That's what I was. All right, I didn't even want to get too far into it. I was actually glad that you were on board with my mind right now, because I was basically like, just let them all do it. That's like in baseball, you knew pitchers were doing it just as much as like the batters. So like, all right, isn't it even playing field if everyone's taking steroids?
Yeah, it's deep. But to bring it back, to bring it back a little bit to what I want to talk about.
Some might be getting better steroids than others, and then that's where it's not fair.
You're right.
Okay. We need to check for potency.
Check myself.
So we're showing a picture here. You're not allowed to hold in boxing, and Muhammad Ali was amazing in all the videos I've seen. He was very good at clasping the back of the neck with his glove and doing it in a way where the referees wouldn't really catch it, and he wouldn't be penalized or pushed away from that.
Do you think that's because they didn't notice it? Because he would always put himself in the corner. You guys would try getting on top of him. He would grab them on the back of their heads.
When I would see him grab at the back of the head, it wasn't him playing that defense in the corner where he was like bobbing and weaving. Mm-hmm. This was more of like setting up an attack. He was making his opponent tired, just like you would in jiu-jitsu. You know, sometimes you stay in a position because you just
you're wearing a guy down.
Exactly.
Yeah. And they're carrying your weight.
And he was excellent at this. And I guess one of the reasons I bring up Muhammad Ali is because he's probably the greatest champion ever. You know, obviously we could argue about who's the best ever, but he's one of the best ever. And when you keep moving along with these great fighters, they had to do some dirty work there. Another fighter that probably more our era, Floyd Mayweather. I mean, he used his forearms and his elbows in a way where he didn't get deducted a point in his entire career. So
don't you have a good picture of that, Lenny, where he's like forearming a dude and looks right there.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that's like straight, almost elbow to the nose. Wait, bring it back up. Is it gone?
No, I didn't share it to the stream yet.
Oh.
No.
Yeah, that's brutal, man. I remember him doing that a lot, actually. That was one of the few things that I noticed.
There you go. This Sugar Shane right there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did we have that Canelo video or no?
No.
The video?
I don't think we found it. But to clarify what Eli's talking about, there's this cool video breakdown of Canelo Alvarez. And I mean, he's today's biggest boxing star. Anybody needs to know that. But where he was making like an adjustment, right, on the guy to keep him.
So he was. The reason I was bringing it up was because he does it in a legal way. So if you're putting the fist out and you're holding your opponent from far away, you're just creating an obstacle. This is different. This is he's framing. He's using his elbow and his forearm. Yeah. Can't do that. But again, amazing fighter. Will probably, at least my opinion, the greatest defensive fighter ever, and that's above Muhammad Ali. I watched plenty of times where Muhammad Ali was sitting there in the corner getting hit.
Muhammad Ali was notorious. Why do you think what happened to him happened to him? Yeah. He took so many shots in the dome.
There's videos. There's videos of him.
Mayweather never gets hit, really, even in the head. Like, yeah, he's gotten hit, but like 1/10 of what Muhammad Ali's taken.
Yeah, when you look at some of the videos with Muhammad Ali, and he's like not cross-eyed from being hit so many times. Floyd never got hit.
No,
I think he showed in one fight that he had.
He's gotten hit, but it was not like, dude. That's what, dude. Part of the reason why Muhammad Ali was so great is people forget. Yeah, he had clips where he was dodging, because he was very light on his feet for heavyweight. But dude, later on in his career, he was notorious for taking shots. He had like iron chin.
Right.
He never got knocked out. TKO'd, I guess. I threw in the towel the one time.
So, and to talk about framing too, you got that George Foreman pick. George Foreman was another famous one. He would shove his opponents, his adversaries, just to create enough space so he could throw his punches. Again, things that you were not allowed to do. Are these things dirty? That one, yeah. Yes, Lenny's bringing it up now. This is a good shot. This is right after him basically framing and pushing away. And again, so with boxing, the dirty stuff is very subtle within the rules, because you can be so elegant in this art of boxing that the referee may not even be able to tell. Yeah, there's sometimes where the refs have been like lenient and allow things to happen because they want the fight to keep going. But there are so many things that are done by these boxers to be for it to be art, for it to be something beautiful.
This is legit, right?
Yeah,
this move is legit.
So wait, this is a legit move?
No. So this is right at the end of him actually shoving and then throwing the lead.
Oh, so he's pushing right before this. But if he were to just be stiffing with the glove,
you can keep you can keep the boxing glove out and create like almost like a stiff arm, so you can't be approached. and that's a way of creating space so that you can, manipulate and now move in the same way in jiu-jitsu, how you would manipulate whatever type of space you have to, that's what's going to lead you to what you want to do, at least.
It's kind of a weird rule.
What, not being able to shove?
Man, I don't know. I guess I'm thinking about it now. I don't know.
Well, that's why it's the difference between boxing and MMA. With boxing, you have to use the gloves to be able to
as much
defeat.
in MMA. You ever think that? Like, just push a dude? Like,
no, because you want somebody closer.
No, potentially if you push them when they're like off balance from like a punch or something.
Remember, too, the example we're showing right now is a heavyweight. So his power is generated in a different way than you see like a smaller fighter who's want to be tight, want to be close. George Foreman wanted to create some space to throw a bomb.
Yeah.
These are heavyweights,
right?
I was actually just kind of
classical heavyweights, I should say.
I was just quickly going over to MMA just to say like you don't really see that as much in MMA either. Like, to think about it, like, I don't know, I guess it's a lot easier said than done, but like somebody like came charging like overhand right, really swung and missed and just like shoulder checked them, maybe knock the dude on the ground to your advantage.
Bernard Hopkins was
do that.
Bernard Hopkins was another guy that was known to be dirty, but the dirtiest of them all, I think you got the pick too. The dirtiest of them all was Antonio Margarito. I mean, he committed the most heinous crime of any boxer, and he put plaster of Paris in the glove wrap.
Yeah.
Now he claims that he didn't know, and that it was his trainer.
Man, he just got it by him,
Yeah, exactly. Like how do you not know that?
Look at that.
I didn't notice my hands were heavier.
And I remember hearing after this, like Sugar Shane, I loved him, man, and I was excited about Antonio Margarito, but at the same time, this guy would like, how do you do that? That's like literally you're bringing a leaf, you're bringing a weapon into the ring. And honestly, if you put anything within your gloves as a boxer and you get caught, look, he said this was the only time he did it. Maybe that's not,
So what if I proposed?
What's that?
So what if I just proposed that they both wore it? Would that make it even? It'd still be dirty?
If they both had plaster gloves?
Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there.
I mean, look at this guy's face, bro.
You got plaster.
You got
I know.
That was good though. Nice sound effects.
It's funny.
So Radji joining in, he says pushing is technically illegal in boxing, but rarely enforced. Thanks for joining in, Radji. We also have AMAC, a proud sponsor of the show, saying that we look and sound amazing and wants to know how do we feel about Mike Tyson's dirty fighting styles.
Like biting ears off?
So
biting ears off, first thing that comes to mind, obviously.
So that's honestly, it's great that you brought her up in the Mike Tyson comment here, because if you notice the boxers we were talking about, like all of their dirty stuff was like subtle. Mike Tyson just bit a dude's ear. Like we were talking about guys like using their forearms, trying to set up. He just lost his mind and bit the guy's ear.
His mind was gone long before that.
Actually, funny enough, Evander Holyfield, dirty fighter,
Yeah,
he would use his dome all the time,
right? Like the grind, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, imagine just having a dude's face pressed up against your forehead the whole time inside your head.
See, yeah, this came up, No Side Films, what about John Jones' side kicks to the front of the leg and the eye pokes? And we actually were talking about this while we were coming up with the segment. I mean, I don't think you could see one fight of John Jones where his fingers aren't open.
But he did it to every fighter.
Every single, and not just the poke, like the rake.
I'm pretty sure they have YouTube highlight reels of him.
We should have had that ready.
Just poking people in the eyes. Because he would he had the longest reach, man. Like, because of his fingers, obviously.
Because the extra finger length.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's all in the fingers.
And that just starts to branch off too, because he's just a dirty ass dude. Like all the stuff he's done
in and out.
Yeah.
But it started with like the UFC gave him like a really nice Bentley. Like, I don't know, a year after he became champ, he like beat Rampage Jackson. Okay. So I guess we're segueing into MMA, but I remember the Rampage fight. Not only was he poking Rampage in the eyes, he was oblique kicking him. He was kicking him in the knees. I remember I guess this is the reason why I got brought up. Thank you, shout out to my brother. But he sent me an article basically where Rampage was doing a podcast, and he was saying that John Jones was the dirtiest fighter he ever fought, or maybe even possibly he was also explaining that he was just the dirtiest fighter that he came across. I mean, there's definitely tons of dirty fighters in UFC and MMA, but John Jones is up there. I don't even think he's the worst, but I mean, the thing is, it's like, how many times can you be warned? Like, start taking points from these guys. You know, to me, it's like, if it's a continuous problem, like, dude, he gets warned like 2-3 times in every fight of his. Like, right, close the fists, you know, like every time he's like blocking, a guy comes blitzing in because he's got a long reach. A lot of times, I get it, you know, you're trying to block, you know,
but he knows. You have the fingers right tilted in.
Dude, it's like annoying because you hear Joe Rogan every time. They really got to do something about these gloves, you know, like, because it's like he's always, you know, they're always
saying just why. Yeah, well, I mean, the fingers have to be exposed for the jiu-jitsu, but
actually, I think the knee kicks, like the oblique, like side kicks to the knees,
that's pretty dirty.
That's dirty, man, because that's like potentially just ruin somebody's like athletic career. Like, you're not the same if you really like destroy, you know. I mean, it's legal, but it's dirty. You know,
it is legal.
Lenny, you remember any, like, off the top of your head, any like dirty moments, like real, like, oh damn, they had to stop the fight, you know, in UFC, like give the guy a break? I guess, like, I don't know. I don't want to say gut shots because those happen all the time.
I mean, those happen all the time. Everybody gets hit in the day.
Yeah, it's like even if it was on purpose, it's like so easy to pass off as an accident.
I don't think if I could think of anything like in particular off the top of my head, more so than just the fighters in general, right? John Jones, Romero. Every fight he gets on for some dumb shit. Dude, I mean, he's a cheater.
He literally did the dirtiest shit ever. He was in the middle of the fight. He shit his fucking shorts.
That's fucking dirty.
Not even shorts.
You don't remember the poopy pants fight?
No, I don't remember.
Oh, we're gonna find a picture for you guys.
Oh
the
man,
poopy pants fight. What did they call those?
Bro, he shit himself.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
He shit himself. Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's dirty.
He might have done twice. But think about that, man. Like, you're in north-south position.
Oh.
And guy shits.
Oh no.
He's, you know, he took steroids too. Oh. He got popped for steroids. Dude, he did some weird stuff. He did, I think, like in the Chris Weidman fight in Madison Square Garden, they in between rounds, they dumped like water all over him. So it's like, well, submissions just went out the window. So Weidman couldn't even like hold on to him or like grapple with him. Like when they're up against the cage, he was just like slipping off him like you know, what's so funny?
The picture that he's about to bring up.
Oh,
dude, I can't
show you. Yeah, that's a real thing.
I never saw this.
He shit himself.
So we're getting into a different realm of dirty.
This is dirty.
Dude, like, do you just tap out at that point and be like, yo, man, your feces are like dripping on me, bro?
So we're getting into a different realm.
What just happened?
I think my speakers came off for a second.
Oh,
yeah, we're good.
Okay. That's nasty.
All right, here you go, guys. What do you think of that? Can we zoom in? Look at that. That's hot,
bro.
Dude, that is the ultimate. That is the ultimate dirtiest shit to win. Like, I mean, I don't even remember how. I think it was just unanimous decision, but I would have just taken the tap. I would just been like, yeah, he tapped out. Where did he tap out to? You guys shit on him.
So
literally shit in his face.
So, did he win this fight?
Yeah,
he won that fight. So
no, actually,
I don't. So to Amanda's point, if you finish fighting, if you guys finish fighting that fight, and you're that dirty.
What?
You don't see the comments popping up around?
Oh yeah.
There you go. If you win the fight after shitting your pants, do you still feel like you won?
Yo, people lie to themselves all the time.
It depends on the winner, right? Like, I mean, I feel like Romero's the type of person who loves to disrespect his opponent with poo.
Dude,
so he felt like a real winner after that.
Do you remember what he did to Tim Kennedy? And Tim Kennedy's like, I think it was like a second to last fight before he retired. But dude, he like took an extra like 30 seconds or a minute in between rounds, and he got like, I think it was round 2, he got rocked himself. Tim Kennedy almost knocked him out, and dude, just like the extra, like he was stumbling back to his corner, and it was like they somehow finagled it where like he had like an extra 30 seconds or a minute, and it gave him enough time to recover, and he came back, ended up like TKOing Tim Kennedy. I remember being pissed because I was like, fuck, man, he's such a dirty fighter. He already got popped for steroids before that point, and I wanted Tim Kennedy to win because I like, Tim Kennedy's the man, and he came back and won. I was like, damn, that's like the ultimate dirty like little trick to do to like come back and win.
So what's interesting too is like the things that happen that are dirty in MMA, like, so in boxing, those dirty things, a lot of times they would complain after the fights about, and people just look at it like you're just complaining, but they don't know exactly what's happened in the ring. Even though you're watching it on film, until you hear that perspective, sometimes you don't even see some of this stuff. I know that sometimes I've had to hear post-fight, hear the fighter complain, then watch the fight again, listening to that perspective that he had of what he was feeling, whether it was a forearm, an elbow, whatever it was that was illegal. It would take until after the fight for you to have that perspective. You have to watch it again, and then you see it. It's almost like you're blinded by it. So with MMA, I would imagine too that there's a lot of times we watch these fights and we don't know what's dirty or not. Like, yeah, you think you know what you're seeing, but what if that guy's feeling something else,
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Probably not.
Can you explain the whole thing?
I mean,
over
yeah,
again?
if you're not a career fighter, maybe you don't know exactly what you're seeing, but I think that if you watch and you listen to the commentary enough, you know. Yeah,
but then you have people like DC who they're like the John Maddens of
he's not paying
MMA.
attention.
Like,
he's not the
here's
color.
a guy who's throwing really hard punches. Like,
You have I
Dude,
forget.
oh man, he's gotten worse.
Yeah.
I actually like DC. Like
I like the guy. He's fine. He just
no.
he
I
sounds
meant
like
his
an ass.
comment.
He's all about that cake and chicken, baby.
Oh Jesus, that video. No, I actually like his commentating, but like the last few pay-per-views, he's just like, is he smoking? Is he smoking beforehand? Like, or is he drunk? Like, I think, wasn't Connor said you were drunk? You called him out for being drunk, and I think it's true because like, apologize or.
So
I might be.
All right, I have an interesting angle here. So you brought up Connor. Do you guys think that, and we've already talked about on the podcast before how
head games?
Yes. So at what point do head games become dirty, and is there a debate that they're not dirty?
Didn't he send a picture of Khabib's wife? Remember when? And I think it was after he lost too, and they were still like going back and forth online. He was like, he said towel, bro,
Right.
because she was wearing the, what do you call those?
The burqa.
Yeah.
Right. Burqa. Dude, that's messed up.
I mean, it's the fight business.
Wasn't there a fighter calling out a dead like brother or something like that, or something? Oh, man, it's ringing a bell. But like, I guess that's
not Connor, right?
No, not Connor.
Yeah.
No, but that's kind of my point. Is
no,
that,
I mean, dude, not for nothing. It's like we could say it's douchey. We could say like what an asshole. Like, but puts your ass in front of the TV to watch every time. Makes it more interesting. It's a fucking fight. Yeah, you want to like add to the drama. It's not like,
I don't know, when you're talking about somebody's mom or like, it's like,
I mean, yeah, it's head games, but it's still.
I guess there's a line. There could be a line.
It's super disrespectful, but that's the thing, right?
Well,
that's the head
all
games.
the
It's so
rules.
easy to fall for that
Mhm.
if you're emotional and you're pissed about it, and then they've already begun to encroach their strategy onto you because you're getting emotional.
yeah, I mean,
And yeah, that's fucking dirty because that's like a cheap move that always works. That's like eye poking, like saying "fuck your mom, she's a bitch" or
Right.
something like that,
What-
right?
No,
Because-
it's not. It's totally different.
well, some people will know
It's
to
totally-
roll it off, but that's a bad example. But you know what I mean? If you're going after something really horrible, if you're a real
no, listen.
dickhead, like
are there
maybe
things
you
that
just
could
lost your
definitely
mom
be-
or something, you know what I mean? And somebody wants to dig up some shit like that.
All right. Yeah.
Head games.
I don't think it's. Yeah, I guess
that's
not-
really dirty.
It's not.
That's the dirtiest, bro.
Yeah,
No, because that's the easiest to defend, bro.
we should have had a dirty sound.
Sticks and
clip.
sticks and stones, bro.
Yeah.
That's dirty.
Nah, sticks and stones, bro. Listen, you're poking someone in the eye and you're in a fight. It's physical. I'm fucking dude. Whatever, man. Head games is a part of the fight business, man. I don't know. I think it's a different argument to say like, all right, you're crossing the line with shit you're saying, but like, it's not a dirty trick, like I don't know, kicking someone in the knee, or taking extra time, or dumping, like putting Vaseline all over your, like when they go up to the cage right before they put Vaseline on like their eyebrows and like their nose and stuff like that. But like if you start putting it on like the shoulders and the body, you grease up the dude, then it's like, all right, I can't throw the guy in a triangle or arm bar, because every time I grab onto something, because they don't wear shirts, it's like, oh, you just slip out. So
hey man, why you feel like butter?
Or if you're dumping water on yourself like in between rounds, it's like now you're all wet and slippery. It's like, blood and sweat's can already do that. You don't need to add extra cheat codes. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's dirty. That really affects the fight in the moment. You know what I mean? Because you're not really fucking talking shit when you're fighting. I know some guys do, but it's not like you're having like, oh man, I'm really getting in this guy's head, but I'm gonna tell him a whole paragraph and he's just gonna hear all of it while he's punching me in the face. No, you're gonna be like, you're gonna do what Nate does when he punches you in the face. He's like, what, motherfucker? And he points you at your face. It's like, yeah, that's gangster.
Smart. Dude, it's
that's
pretty crazy
awesome.
how he could just point at somebody.
He's just like laughing
and they freak out.
Like after he fucking blasts them,
That video of him talking shit to the dude, and he just flinches at him.
He flinches at him. The guy's
the soda up.
The guy's like, this whole beer, whatever it was. It was a drink.
And what's awesome is like the cam is like on the actual octagon, and it's him walking on the outside. So it's like the perfect shot.
Yeah, and he's by himself.
Yeah,
like dude, no like crew.
Dude, that beer must have hit like 10, 12 feet.
And when like the mezzanine like section,
and that should cost him like $15.
Yeah.
Extra dirty.
Oh man, that's funny though, because there's so many different limits. I mean, look at who did Gordon fight? Galvao, right?
Gordon Ryan. He never fought him.
No, not Galvao. Who did Gordon Ryan fight that just completely lost control emotionally? We talked about it the other night.
No, it was, but they never fought. It was Galvao, because they've been going back and forth.
They weren't fighting. It was just like a on the side of the mat type thing, right?
Well, they've been going back and forth on Instagram and shit and talking shit. And I guess, I don't know, he explained the story with Galvao. I guess was like, went up to him, was like, yeah, we'll promote this. But I guess he got butthurt with something. And, what's his name is like, I'm just going to keep going further and further, like exposing, like, again, mental games. And I guess they were competing a couple months back, and he was doing an exhibition, I guess in Texas, like Austin, I don't know, doesn't matter. And anyway, they were backstage, and I guess Gordon actually went up to him to give him a handshake, and what's his name like pushed him and got all like, all of a sudden he was super serious and like, no, this rivalry is real and stuff like that. And Gordon just palmed him in the face. And he said, what are you gonna do? And he just kept like following Gordon Ryan. He's like, if you're not gonna fight me, why are you following me? Like Gordon Ryan like slapped him twice. He was like pretty much like, let's go. He was ready. Galvao, I think, dude, he kind of rocked him a little bit, because you watch the video, he palmed him in the face. You see him like kind of like, he got his wits, but you saw a little like, like for a second. He definitely buckled a little bit.
So
anyway, what was your point? Why are we talking about this?
It was just another like aiming at like doing something to
that's like, but that's out of competition. Of course that's dirty. That's not, dude, you're striking somebody. That's illegal.
Yeah, obviously him striking illegally. Of course. My point was like the shit talking, but I actually think that in that example, that wasn't that bad.
Dude, Radji actually just pointed out, I remember this too. Dude, when he fought Cyborg, big heavyweight, dude, he was palming him, slapping him in the head. Gordon just ate him. Just
that wasn't a match, right?
Yeah. That was an actual match. That's an actual match where something dirty was happening. Because you can't even slap. You can't slap somebody.
No.
And they had to like keep giving warnings. Wait, didn't something happen? Did Gordon get penalized for something, or am I thinking of something else? I feel like, I'm wrong.
He got penalized for talking shit.
No.
So
I thought something in the match, but I'm just thinking of something else.
I just thought of something funny. Or not funny, just
make me laugh, funny man.
Just a different different look at this.
It's funny that. All right, go on.
It's just a different viewpoint to this. So, I played. I think this might be the first year that I'm stopping baseball because I'm focusing on jiu-jitsu and adaptive and whatnot. I think I'm finally gonna hang up the cleats, at least for now. But I've been playing baseball my whole life and still playing wood bat. Fast pitch.
Nice.
One of our pitcher, I mean, he's getting a little bit older now, but he's still hitting, 86, 87, then hitting you with a changeup or a curveball that's like
pro,
60.
dude.
Yeah. We're playing. It's a semi-professional league, but anytime I say that, it sounds like really like douchey or like.
It's douchey.
Just sounds
We're
stupid.
semi-pro, baby.
I mean, it's just stupid. It's like we're paying to play. We're not. We're good. You could come watch us, and we look like a game that would be on TV, but
provide.
Yeah,
your
when
entertainment.
you're semi-pro, you only play half price.
So anyway, my point.
Should never got that one.
I know. These guys are gonna raise that button on me because I'm gonna make the worst jokes on.
There's
purpose.
other buttons too. You can't play them. It's too much.
No,
Don't do it.
I'm not gonna do it
you're the heel.
until it's appropriate.
You're the heel deal, Lenny.
You're the heel
Thank
deal.
you. Thank you for saying that.
So what I was getting at was, the things that were dirty in baseball, things that were dirty. I played basketball for a very long time as well, at a high level, and the things that were dirty that I was doing, dude, 90% of the stuff was bestowed to me. Were things that were dropped as knowledge, like, yo, when you're going around a hard screen and the referee is up at the top of the key near the 3-point line and you're going underneath
Just
the
transition
basket.
to basketball, bro?
No. Well, yeah, I'm going quickly here. Watch me now. When you're going underneath the basket and you're setting a pick, you just hold your fist out. So when the guy runs by for the pick, he's running right into your stomach. That's dirty as hell. You can't throw fists in basketball.
Even
Baseball,
elbows, bro. I remember that
Baseball.
shit.
So cheating, you got to call cheating
wind out of me,
dirty in baseball, right? Like stealing signs and stuff like that.
Mhm.
That's dirty, right? Yeah. Well, that's something you get taught too.
We can go into sports right now if you want to get real dirty about it. If you want to get real dirty about it.
Adaptive sports.
Yeah, AMAC agrees here that she played soccer for over 10 years, and they definitely shared tips on how to be dirty and to evade being caught by the refs.
Yeah, man.
So
Dude,
I mean, that's
everyone
just team
does it.
culture. Yeah, that's.
just
I mean,
the-
think about the Patriots. I know AMAC loves the Patriots.
Oh, man.
Right? They
Inflate those
Hitting home.
footballs.
you
Deflate, I mean.
you work within the confines of the thin margins of the rules, right? Nobody said we couldn't take pictures of your
And if-
practices.
And if you take
Right.
it over the line, when it turns into a physical altercation. I've been in fights before on the field just because like everybody knows what's happening. Everybody knows the dirty things going on, but don't cross the line. If you cross the line, if you show your hand, that's it. It's over. Everybody loses their shit.
right. Like you can't be
Like
can't
Jose
be
Canseco when he outed
cocky
the whole
about
fucking
it.
league.
Right?
Oh,
You know?
wait,
With
Jose
steroids?
Canseco. Oh, I was
Yeah.
like, wait, what are we talking about? And then I realized you're
I just
steroids.
yeah. All right, so I want to bring something real quick to what we were talking about. 'Cause
Soccer,
who shouted that out?
We'll
Dude,
go back. That
I
was
actually thought the dirtiest fighter in MMA.
Bolian Hokshaminski.
Rosemar Paul Harris was like one of the dirtiest
See you.
UFC fighters and just jiu-jitsu. He still does jiu-jitsu tournaments, and he's
Mhm.
he's notorious for doing heel hooks and like knee bars and leg locks and stuff like that. But what makes him dirty is he actually holds on. Guys will be tapping, their knees are exploding, ankles are exploding. Ref is holding and pulling Rosemar off, and he's still like holding on for an extra like 2-3 seconds. It's like there's no reason. He's done that in like, I don't know, 2-3 UFC matches. I've seen him do it in like this more than that in jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's just
That's dirty.
like basically destroying a guy's career, like blowing out their knee. I mean, he was notorious for just holding on to like heel hooks, especially, dude. He would just hold on to it. Ref's just trying to rip him off.
So I think that's actually a pretty good segue because you're talking about like heel hooks and doing things that could destroy somebody's career, stop you from heading.
Dude, it's not the move itself though. It's the idea that he's actually holding on to it. Guy tapped already. So like I know it's up to the ref to pull him off, And you guy can tap, and unfortunately, you could hold on to it until the fucking ref gets involved. But when the ref is trying to pull you off, and you're still doing it. That's some low shit. That's some fucking. Don't let that guy compete anymore.
What are we looking
That's
at here,
like.
Len?
It's just a quote that was underneath this his photo in this article, and it's pretty much a summation of everything that Ed just said. Like, this is the reason why he's considered one of the most dirty fighters, is for the heel hook and going beyond the bell and whatever else.
Yeah.
So
You're a dick.
What I was getting extra dirty. So what I was what
He gets real dirty.
what I was getting at was training and the environment you have in your gym. So
All gyms, all combat sports. Are you talking about jiu-jitsu?
I think all combat sports. I think very, very simply put across the board, when you're in a martial art and there's so I'm thinking any type of contact sport, you have to have an understanding. I mean, even so, let's start with just like a basketball team. So there's physicality there. It's not football, it's not soccer, but there's physicality there. When you're training to, you're practicing, you're not going to set a pick in a way that you're going to hurt a guy. You know what I'm saying? When you're playing defense, you're not going to undercut somebody when they go up for a layup. You're not going to take their legs out from them so that they can fall on their back. It's dirty. You got to take care of your teammates. So when you come back to boxing, Muay Thai, wrestling, jiu-jitsu,
any of your sparring partners,
any
training
contact
partners,
any
whether
contact
it's a
sport,
team, or even if it's a single sport, you're still working out with other people. So the people that you train with are.
So before we get to jiu-jitsu, I'll tell a good football story, contact sport. So in high school, I was on the football team, and the varsity squad had to come off the field because of lightning. So we moved into the gym, and we did our we walked through our offense that day, and there was no hitting. Everything was literally one hand touch, not even two hand touch.
Thanks, Ray.
Thanks, Ray. It's a dirty turd. So we're in the gym, and we're having to do our offensive drills. We're walking through the offense. They want us to be running because we're wearing our sneakers, but any type of contact needs to be basically like you're touching somebody. You're not going to put your shoulders down. We weren't wearing pads. All we were wearing was our jerseys, regular pants, and just running on a gym floor like a basketball court. I ran a post pattern for our viewers who maybe don't know football. It's basically just run straight and then towards the actual goal post. So you're making kind of like what is that, a type of angle is that? An obtuse angle. You're going like that. So I jump up in the air.
Actually explaining football right?
Geometry lesson.
I jump up in the air to catch the ball, and I'm completely extended. I catch the ball, and as I'm coming down, the only piece of equipment that we were wearing was our helmets. The middle linebacker, legit, no hands, just put his head up, speared my helmet. My helmet exploded open. It broke my nose, and my nose is crooked to this day because of it. I woke up, and my nose was bleeding.
How did he get that high?
Well,
he just helmet to helmet.
yeah, bro. Think about it. I'm jumping up, and as I'm coming down,
like on
he's
an
coming
angle.
down.
he's coming up.
Oh.
He's coming up. So it literally just, the force just alone of his head spearing me,
Yeah.
so knocked me out.
That was in high school, right?
Yeah, in high school on the gym floor.
Stupid
And I literally opened up my eyes and I said, he's, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Did I catch your coach?" I had the ball in my hand, but still, my nose is crooked to this day because so dirty. You're not taking care of your teammates, dude. I was so frustrated. We ended up in a fight in the locker room later, but anyway,
Yeah, rightfully so.
Oh no, let's hear about it, bro.
it's a good example of like taking care of your teammates. So
Did you win?
yes, I did.
Are you just saying that?
Yes,
I believe you though.
Ed wants to know about the locker room.
No,
I am just saying it though. No, it was nobody won a fight. It was just kind of just like a scuffle, and we got separated. That's it.
Nah, the huge.
Yeah,
There's always someone that grabs you.
sucks having the tampons though in your nose from nonstop bleeding and it's not coming out. Oh, I still remember it to this day.
actually.
Ray's wondering, did you fly up in the air like in Tecmo Super Bowl? With the streamers behind you, right? Like there were 2 animations. Remember Tecmo Super Bowl? There were only 2 animations for touchdowns, and it was whether you threw the reception to a white player or a black player, and they would celebrate in the end zone.
Nintendo was
Segregated.
segregated.
Only segregated. Like
Right,
it would be the white player hold up the white player,
And I'm sure they made it
vice versa. The black player would only hold up the black player.
and I'm sure they made like they had some sort of explanation, like we didn't have the technology yet to do the shit.
You didn't need an explanation back then because no one gave a shit.
Yeah, there's that too.
You know, because they
This was
couldn't have like shared it.
Because it was a fucking video game.
Yeah.
All right, back to the topic.
So
So,
funny though.
so to the mats.
To the mats.
What?
To our mats. To the jiu-jitsu mats. To the community mats.
Yes, to the community. What types of things do you guys consider dirty from your teammates, and that you would also want? Think about it from this perspective, that you would want newcomers to understand, whether they're a higher rank or a white belt, that they're learning.
I would just say this as a newcomer, whether you got athletic gifts and you got some edge to you and you're kind of fighter in life and stuff like that, and you're aggressive, whatever. I would just say, soak it in, learn, take it slow in the beginning, because either way, even if you're athletic and you come in as a brand new guy and you're herky jerky, maybe you're strong, maybe you're tough, whatever, but you're still gonna get your ass kicked. So to avoid that, just come in and soak it in. Just try to learn as much jiu-jitsu as you can, in the sense of, you know, don't make it a competition. Just make it where you're like, I just want to learn this and get better each day.
I think a perfect example. I could give an actual rolling example. So if you're in a roll with somebody, and for some of the viewers that don't understand certain positions, and we don't have anything ready to show you, so I won't go that far. But if you're in a position where, you know, you've kind of have a stalemate, and the person has one hand free, and both your hands are trying to control them, and they're just driving their knuckles into the side of your neck for no reason, it's not going to make either one of your jiu-jitsus any better.
I mean,
just because it's making you uncomfortable. It's something they know that makes you uncomfortable.
But they're doing it not to make you uncomfortable so that you move and do something else. They're doing it because they want the round to end, or for you to tap in the middle of that roll, just because they want the win.
Well,
the fist.
It could be that. It could be the fact that, like, hey, I learned this little trick. Let me see if it works.
Yeah, I could punch you in the neck too, but that's not jiu-jitsu. You know
how many times have I
you're
heard you
describing
use...
not punching in the neck, though. But nothing. We've been shown moves where you can, you know, where you're holding the guy,
not in
you're
Ezekiel,
pinning them, and you can have you could be in their
I'm
guard.
not talking about in Ezekiel.
I'm not talking about Ezekiel either.
What are you talking about?
Well, let me finish, and you'll know.
Okay.
So, like, I'm in someone's guard, right, and I wrap around and I put my fist behind their back and I start squeezing. That sucks, you know. And that person's probably gonna let go of the legs.
That makes my jiu-jitsu better.
Huh?
That makes my jiu-jitsu better, because you're showing me that if I let you get to that hole.
Yeah, but sometimes, like you were saying, right, if a guy's digging a fist, I think I know where you're going with this with your one particular story, but like sometimes you could use collars, right, and you're pulling, you could use your fist to use it as a choke.
I think it's something where you're learning something. You're learning a reaction. You're learning not to get there. But when you're doing something in a roll that isn't making you or your partner better, I think when you're
just
rolling,
generalizing.
I'm generalizing.
Okay, all right, no, that's fine. I just wanted, because I was trying to understand.
If we were going to break it down that far, I need to show a video, a picture, and then we can talk about it.
I thought something happened to you. That's why I was like, well, what?
Something has happened to me, but for me to like explain the whole thing, I'd alienate some viewers because we don't have pictures to show exactly what it is. You know what I'm saying? I could probably explain it to you, you'd get it, but not everybody else.
Where did they hurt you, Eli?
Eli, you talk about it, man.
Well, I think this brings up a good kind of like point in discussion, is that just because something makes you uncomfortable doesn't make it a dirty move.
Dude, you remember Howie?
Well, we talked about him on like the second episode, I think.
He
did come up.
Tell me more.
All right. Well, I just mean the idea of like throwing a forearm, like into somebody's neck.
Yeah. Well, there's those type of things. Like, okay, there's some things that make you uncomfortable that aren't dirty, like a body lock with your arms, like you were just like hands behind the back.
Yeah, and you roll over and your hands
sucks.
like
it's gonna make
arching
you, move,
and
but
whatnot.
but then there's fucking covering your mouth. There's
Great point.
even hands on the face in
Oh,
general. Like,
perfect.
unless you're doing like a
Perfect.
chin strap, I'm
right.
okay
Great job,
with a chin
Len.
strap. I'm okay with a chin strap. I'm okay with lifting my head up by my forehead if you're gonna choke me from the back or something. Don't smear your hands across my face. There's something else.
I mean, I
think it's called
I think-
smothering.
Yeah,
I think
smothering.
makes
You're
sense.
just smothering.
I think it's
Yeah.
called smothering. So when if so
That's bitch made.
it just doesn't
Well,
make
bitch,
again.
man,
It
if you're
doesn't
doing
make
it to your
sense to me.
partner, it's like, why, dude? First of all, I see where it's effective if you're doing it in a competition.
Competitively,
effective.
right?
But it's like,
Competitively.
wait a minute. Why the fuck? Like, you're getting to the point where you're like, yo, man, I'm so desperate. I'm gonna try to drain this guy's cardio so he breathes heavier and he gets more tired. And like your training partner, like
Right.
that,
the
that to
guy
me,
that the guy that has to
it's
finish
just a cheap
training.
move, man. It's just like someone doing
It's
like
a shortcut.
it's like fucking our ex professor. Shout out to fucking George. I remember he used to do this fucking sarcastic. I remember he used to do this fucking thing.
really feel.
Dude,
Where did he touch you? No, I'm just
I'm about
playing.
to tell
I'm
you.
just playing.
I'm about to get through my story, man. Now I don't want to talk about it.
No.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Go ahead.
All right, so like we would start like basically 50-50, and he'd be like on his knees, and he would grab my foot and do a rolling toe hold, like from the start of the fucking match. He's caught me, I think like twice, 2 or 3 times with that, where I was like, it was like spaced apart, where I kind of forgot that he would try doing that, you know? Because I remember after he did it, I was like, I'm not gonna let that fucking happen again. He did maybe one other time, and I just remember being like, George, you're fucking brown belt or black belt. I think he did it to me, and I'm like,
What are you getting out of this?
like, why? Yeah, like, what the fuck? Like, all right, are you making me aware? Okay, great. You're the only one that's doing it. Like, what the fuck? I mean, it's just like, to me, that's
Yeah. You know, there's a couple things.
I could appreciate the move itself, but like, you to like that was like the fanciest thing you could do too. It was like, what the fuck, man? Like, why would you do that to?
So
blue belt?
again, so to go back to you're doing something because one of you is becoming better with your partners, not competitive. Now we're not talking about a competition. I'm talking about in a gym in general. If you're not making your training partner or you're not making yourself better, you shouldn't be doing that because it doesn't make sense. It's not making your gym better. It's not making you better. It's not making them better. So,
well, that's why, I mean, I think that's why it's incumbent on, obviously ranking belt people that have been training. And this is just across the board in any jiu-jitsu gym. One, the owner, the main professors that teach, the coaches that teach, and then the higher belts. I think it's
shout out to Radji and Professor Joe. They both teach us the right way to handle ourselves, and
I suppose it's etiquette, but it's like,
yeah, it's etiquette.
I mean, it's just being a good fucking human being. You know what I mean?
That's
it's like,
also part of it.
it's like, dude, we're like, it's weird, man. It's like, this is why I think jiu-jitsu is so great, man. It's like, it's like when you own a gun, right? Like, you're less likely to use it. You know what I mean? Because it's like, same thing with like a martial art. You build your confidence. Like, you're less likely to go out and pick fights. Why? Because you could de-escalate it with like, you could feel more confident and more, I don't know, you could feel better about yourself de-escalating by talking, because you're like, all right, if this gets bad, worst case scenario, I'm confident enough to know I could fuck this guy up, or at least give you the confidence. And you never know, anybody could fucking, but it gives you the confidence to at least be able to be like, all right, instead of just freaking out, panicking, and then becoming a victim, you're prepared. And then when you're mentally prepared, I think it's easier to just de-escalate it with like just talking it out, anything. So I think that's why, like, I think it's a good thing to instill martial arts in like your children, people in general, because
yeah, I mean,
it disciplines people, and it also makes them better people, because it's like, when you know what you're capable of, you're less likely to cause actual physical
time
harm.
slows down.
Yeah.
When you know what
You
you're
don't panic.
when
It's
you know
like
what you're
fear's a
doing.
good thing, right? But if you panic can get you killed. But fear can keep you focused and in the game.
Mhm.
And I mean, just in life, not in an actual game, but just like keep you dialed in. where you can calmly think out things. I think that's why martial arts is very constructive for people.
It's all encompassing.
Yeah, and so we always look at jiu-jitsu, and anybody who does it creates parallels with life, and they look at things in a way where you can compare it to all your experiences. Now, obviously, if you spend time running meetings, if you spend time as a professional doing negotiations and sales, you become more comfortable over time and less stressful because you're so experienced. You've spent so much time doing that. So when it comes to de-escalating or stressful situations, if you do jiu-jitsu, you calm down. That's why most of us that do it talk about all the time how we're big proponents of law enforcement, doing jiu-jitsu. We're big proponents of students, like young kids. They should be doing jiu-jitsu too, because it's less likely for bullying.
Yeah, because just like in South Korea, right? They implement programs in their schooling systems where they have them do judo as an elective.
Yeah.
Like, shit, I would even be an advocate for judo and jiu-jitsu in all school systems.
Any martial art in the school system, I think, would be a positive thing.
As an elective.
And it also, I think, again, because of the human contact, it creates a better understanding of who we are together. When you approach a situation and you troubleshoot as humans together, whatever it may be, whether it's politics, sport, a business, whatever it may be, when we look at us, man, us coming together, for you guys that have not known us or don't know about us, we've been friends for a very long time, and we are able to take everything that we've learned individually, and when we put it together, we're an engine. I mean, the things we've been able to accomplish together, because we put our energy into it, because we've tested our friendships, because we've put ourselves in situations that we've grown and we become stronger together, it all of a sudden propels us into a place where we're able to create so much kinetic energy and get so many things done. I mean, I know, guys, I'm happy about tonight. I mean, look at this. This is awesome. We got our gear. We got our setup here. We got some good people listening to us right now, and that means the world to me.
Yeah, we have a great turnout too, guys. Thank you so much, guys, girls,
so much.
everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, Ed, because you don't have the certain permissions. We have
Ed is John people. Connor, and the AI is after him.
Yeah, I don't like
we've got, I think that's the peak amount of people that we have streaming live in since we started. A lot of live comments tonight.
Word, shout out to everybody.
Yeah,
awesome,
thank you so much for commenting live. If you guys can also leave comments in the comment section, subscribe to us, share it to your friends, all that. That's awesome. The show keeps getting better. I mean, we had a little bit of a rocky intro today because
sorry about that.
Pull up, and that I'll take that on me. My intro was a little bit choppy.
We're also trying to get more comfortable too.
Why is Phil crying?
We're growing. Phil's crying because he's getting emotional because we're thanking him. Phil, personally, you
motherfucking man,
you are helping us grow. You guys are all helping us grow. But before we move on, let's go.
I want to talk about what Radji brought up.
Radji
this is
bringing
good.
up a lot of great comments. He's
really good comments, Professor.
I need to get the comments over here.
More philosophy. Well, when we pull them up, you can
get
see
the man some glasses.
And for those of you tuning in,
I still would have to go on, speak.
Sorry, I'm busting his balls.
If anyone tuning in here isn't a local or friends with us, Radji is sort of the foundation for all of this. He is our professor, an amazing professor, and the owner of the gym that we train at, that we started at, that really kind of gave birth to this whole thing. And we are definitely going to have him on soon. We're preparing a really great interview for him, so we want it to be awesome and perfect. But so in the philosophy of training and I think intensity, like we were talking about, and how people handle it.
Yes.
Jiu-Jitsu says, everybody has different goals, and some people are able to handle things a little differently, like pressure and intensity. But it happens over time, right? And that those people who want or need that type of intensity can deal with it and grow because of it, but also know how to dial it down with people who don't, right? In training. So
that's important.
You train to your competition and also to the needs of your partner, I suppose, right? So if you guys both have this intense desire, then yes, it's an agreed upon thing, right? Don't beat up on people who aren't ready for that intensity. Like he says, with experience, you know how to dial it down. with the people who aren't like that.
Like, it's like
And yeah, he goes on to say that as long as they're both willing to whatever happens during the training, it's good. It should be a contract.
It should be talked
It's a
about.
social contract before
Absolutely.
you start.
See,
Tap
all right.
early and tap
Actually-
often, right? Learn how to do that first,
Yeah,
and
man.
then when
Well-
you can train hard, you can you learn
Know your
partners.
threshold.
Know your
That's
threshold.
that's just to go circle back to what I was saying earlier. That's why you should take it slow, because you can start learning your threshold.
Dude, like
and other
Radji,
people's thresholds as well.
Radji and Spark, both big swimmers. Growing up, I was a swimmer, but I wasn't on the level they were. I'm just Cuban, so I had to learn how to swim. But
You swam here to Florida?
Shit,
but
you're part of the
they're-
Scarface crew.
but their flexibility in their ankles from swimming is stupid. Like watching Radji and Spark get their ankles turned and
Well,
whatnot.
they use their feet like hands.
It's so
I don't know
crazy.
if I could do that.
So good. But that's
I cramp up.
but that's also a good example of understanding your partner. When you come in, there's a lot of times where your training partners will tell you like something specific is bothering them, and maybe you just focus on attacks that don't have anything to do with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, or that, hey, he's not feeling well, so I can't turn it up on him, even though he's a higher rank, even though he destroys me all the time. I need to swim. I need to flow with him. I can't attack on a level where I'm gonna drop all my weight on him. You know what I mean? Like, you got to know. I think that's a big part of what Roger was trying to say too. I think he was, at least, that the higher belts also have a.
It's totally. They're
in charge of
They
like
set the
trying to
standards.
You
the
should
tone
have
and
that
whatnot.
responsibility.
they're
Yeah.
the ones that set the standards. And actually, I just want to bring this up before I forget, because Eli, you said it earlier. I'm not gonna name names, but there's people, and I'm sure they do in all gyms. Notice they like only pick. They'll be like a higher belt rank,
Oh man,
and they'll just
this
only
is
pick,
so annoying.
They'll pick white belts only.
The whole time, and like, let's pick white belts because we're gonna beat the shit out of them because we're gonna feel better about ourselves. I'm sorry, that is not leaving the ego at the door, ladies and gentlemen. If you are just picking white belts, you are not getting it. You are not getting it. You need to get your ass kicked to learn how to give an ass kicking. You can't destroy people. That's not what this is about. At least that's not what Radji Barrett Jiu-Jitsu is about. That's not what professors teach you. Extra dirty.
Well, I think that that speaks a lot to the culture that Radji's created at his academy, because it's not like that at every gym.
No.
It might even be encouraged and rewarded at other gyms.
Yeah, but those
Maybe not like picking on the weakest, but I think that there might be still that mentality. Well, if you can't be
Cobra Kai.
if you can't be handled, roughly by the higher belts, then maybe you don't belong at this gym here,
Look, man,
buddy.
if you
Well,
want to compete, hold on, let me say this. Anybody who's listening to this that maybe is thinking to themselves, well, I like to compete hard. Well, okay, communicate. Be a human. Have a conversation with somebody and say, hey, man, are you ready to turn it up? Because I want to roll hard right here. And if that person says no, okay, then move on. Find somebody else that wants to roll with you hard. If they don't want to roll hard with you, like, learn. Like, this is what being a human is about. Like, you don't just walk up to somebody at 7-Eleven and go, hey, fuck you, dude. You want to fight? No, you are going to go find an experience.
You don't do that?
No, I don't randomly pick people out to fight, because that's not cool. That's not a cool thing to do.
Too douchey for
My
me.
point is that if you want to roll hard, if that's what we have people in our gym who want to compete. They want to go hard, and I want to make them better. I'm there because I'm their partner. I want to make them better. I'm going to compete with them at a high level. They tell me, or we're in a roll, and I feel them turning the energy up. I'll match it. And if I can't match it, I won't. I'll look to be smoother. And if they can't get the point, if we can't learn that, I'm going to stop the roll and be like, dude, relax. You want to submit me? Go ahead. I don't care. It's not going to end my night. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go home to my wife, my kids, and I got to go to work tomorrow. So,
Yeah.
so don't try to break my leg. That doesn't make any sense. Speaking of wrist locks, go ahead. I'll let you talk a little bit to it.
Speaking of
'cause we
wrist
were-
locks,
'cause we were
usually it's
fighting.
followed by you saying
No,
something about wrist locks.
Speaking of wrist locks, because we were arguing, I wanted you to talk
What do you mean
about
we're
it.
arguing about it.
We were arguing about it before. 'cause
Yeah,
we
go into it then.
Fine.
Segues.
All right, I'll do
Yeah.
it. I'll do it. I just felt like I was talking too much.
You were a little bit. It's okay.
Well, hold on. Let me back up a little bit, just because we're
What?
getting really great comments from.
All right, we'll come back to
Some
wrist
people
locks
are
because I really want to talk
tuning in.
about that.
So, Radji goes on to say that to the point of when somebody's injured and they ask to or make it aware that this part of my body is bothering me, he says he doesn't even dictate the role then. He completely allows that person to dictate the space and allow the way that they want to train. I think that's probably the smartest way to go.
I feel like he taught us that without even saying it.
Yeah.
He taught us that, and that goes a testament again to what he teaches at the gym. We've learned that. I think the people that get it, the people who are cool and that can train there, get it. They understand because Raji's showed them physically, like, okay,
right.
we're going to do it this way, not your way.
Yeah, and that's smart too, because his next comment here just goes on to make the point that you can never really know still. Like if you're still moving forward in that role or being more aggressive, even if the person is going along with it, you still might never know, right?
Yeah.
You might accidentally end up in that position. You don't know the pain threshold that they're in. So
that's why, like, if you're injured, if you're the party that's injured, I think it is also just as equally important for you to speak up, so that way it doesn't come back. Because I mean, if you don't, then that falls on you.
And if something happens, like I'll give a good example. I got a toehold and my ankle popped, and I came back to training way too early, and I was in a roll, and the person that was rolling with me knew that that I was still fragile there. Just natural movement, he just kind of secured the space where my ankle was. It just had zero strength there, and it bent in a way where it hurt again. We communicated. I knew that he didn't do that on purpose. That wasn't his fault, and it was my fault, and it was my decision to put myself in that danger. That's
like when
good teammates, good partnership, at least. You know what I'm saying? Even though I was an asshole by training maybe too early, it was still good partnership. He was a good teammate because he didn't do anything wrong.
I agree. That's kind of a different example anyway.
Kind of, yeah.
Because one, you're responsible. You came back too early, and then two, accidents are gonna happen, and it's not like.
So actually, let me look at it a different way. Come back too early, right? Come back too early. Sorry about that. Come back too early. At the same time, when you have good training partners, just like Radji said there, with like dictating the space. Well, if you're only as good as what you can train with. If your partners are not on the mat, you don't have practice, so you can't get better. So you need to keep your teammates healthy. Again, I'm not trying to say that you shouldn't go hard. I go hard, but there are nights where I don't have all that gas, so I can't go that hard.
There's a difference between going hard and submitting your opponent, as opposed to having that mentality where I gotta win at all costs. Like I gotta do
right. Yeah.
Like,
because I feel like all the three of us, especially, I feel like being friends kind of ups that competitiveness a little bit. But
it's like
the exact type of role I feel like you're getting to and describing, like the intensity, right? Like, we want to win, we want to beat each other, but it's not at any cost.
Purely,
right?
even if we amp up the intensity,
we're making each other
speed,
better.
It's like there's nothing but technique behind all of it.
Right. Right. It's nothing rash.
Yeah, it's nothing explosive in the sense where it's like I'm ripping your arm out, bro.
So my from learning and asking questions and wanting to fall in line to really understand the sport. Excuse me. For me, like one thing that's always part of my equation is position over submission. If I have to do something that's out of control, why am I going to do that to somebody? Especially, so for me, it's been tough because as I started jiu-jitsu, and Eddie, I think you might be able to test for this because you were actually like pushing me, but I've always been a larger person with people, and I've always in my head thought I don't want to hurt somebody because I'm larger than them. And I was always told, like, you're bigger than that person, don't hurt him. You know what I mean? So I was always very gentle. So with jiu-jitsu, with certain things, I had to learn, like, okay, you have to be aggressive in certain movements or else you're going to lose that position every single time. So it's taken time for me to learn that. But because of that, position over submission for me is the equation. When I'm doing stuff, if I can't keep if I can't control that space and can't control that position, and I have to do something wild, something uncontrollable, then I'm putting my partner in danger. And I'm not in a competition. I'm in my gym with my partners, with my friends. So not allowing myself to keep this as like the forefront of what I'm doing is essentially not being true to myself as a practitioner. Make sense? So then let me ask you this question. Will you put yourself in a position where you make a wild movement that you don't know what's going to happen? You just go wild, throw a leg, whatever. I don't even know how to explain it, but
No, I'm not going to do anything
wild,
rash.
Yeah.
No, man, because first of all, I've been doing jiu-jitsu for 8 years, so you develop your sequences and techniques. Like, I know what I'm going for. I'm not like I'm just, even if I win a competition, I'm not just going to fly like I'm throw a flying triangle. I don't practice that shit. Anything I'm going to use in a tournament is either going to be, I guess, opportunist or developed in my game where I'm attacking for that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going for the sequences that I'm comfortable with to put my offense in my game implemented before they can impose theirs. But yeah, I'm not going to throw some wild shit, fancy stuff that I don't normally do. Just potentially hurt. Like when we watched that video where the guy was that who's watching? Was I watching with you? Who were we watching that with? Where the guy went through a flying triangle and he landed on the back of his neck. Snapped it.
Yeah, I think you just sent it to one of our groups or something, right? But yeah,
broke his neck, man.
Risky. That was a break.
Yeah,
confirmed break. Oh no,
I think so. Yeah, I was watching with Trottini last night. Yeah, Trottini's the one
I didn't watch
me.
that. Yeah, no. Yeah. Oh, he loves that shit.
Yeah, he showed me last night.
He loves human carnage.
He's an eye doctor and he sees human carnage all the time.
I feel like he had no choice. He had to convince himself he liked it.
He's desensitized to it. Yeah, he's desensitized to it.
I know. It's just like, all the time. He's just like, yeah, it's just another falling out eyeball.
That guy got eaten by a shark? Cool.
Yeah, he's donezo. He's donezo. Well, yeah. I mean, we got anything else? I think we're good. I mean, yeah, it was a great show.
It was fun.
That, yeah, I'm gonna share the video.
We were stupid nervous in the beginning for some reason.
Well, we spent a lot of time setting up this.
All right, I'll speak for myself. I was stupid nervous.
I was a little bit. I mean,
sorry, guys, if that was like.
No.
Well, we spent a lot of time.
I didn't know you were nervous. I was sorry.
We spent a lot of time tonight prepping the table.
I was so nervous, man. I was right there with you, bro.
Thanks. We spent a lot of time tonight prepping the table and getting the equipment. This is our first time using this stuff. We heard somebody let us know in the beginning that there was a little bit of an echo during the stream. I think we had one of the extra mics turned on by accident. Yeah. But we dealt with it. Thank you guys for sticking with us during that.
Damn it.
Next week's gonna go perfect, I promise.
No.
But this video, we wanted to show the video.
You'll never see perfection on that.
Will you guys let me close out?
Wait, hold on. Before we close out,
Jesus Christ.
There will be no closing out.
Before we close out, just want to give a shout out to the school. Want to give a shout out to what?
That's what I'm getting to, bro.
But I know you're gonna do things. I just want to say something else. Okay. I want to give a shout out to the people in our lives that helped us get this done. That may not get the same recognition because maybe they're not part of the school, like our wives. Thank you for being patient with us as we do all this stuff. Sorry,
big time.
Just wanted to give that shout out. I didn't think it was going to be in the outro, so that's why I love my wife. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was going to be in the outro. No, yeah, but guys, thanks so much for joining us. A lot of great live comments tonight. It was awesome. It really just does make the show better. As you can see, we're taking this thing seriously. We're getting gear. We're making better and better productions every single week. Look, I'm gonna throw up this comment real quick that Joanna's saying because I totally agree. Thank you. Don't steal my outro thunder. No, it's totally fine. But so we wanted to share this video of us actually setting the stuff up earlier today. We wanted to open with this, but for some reason the clip didn't play and it still won't. So psych, just kidding.
Yo, man.
It won't play?
No, it won't play.
Gave the audience blue balls.
I know. I'm so sorry. I really don't know what's going on with that. But anyway,
Huevos
tonight's,
azules.
Yo, we built this video up too.
we did.
No.
They're gonna be like, "This is it."
It sucks.
Yeah, tonight's
Position
podcast.
over submission, ladies and gentlemen.
Tonight's podcast is brought to you by Radji Barrett Jiu-Jitsu Academy. Check him out at Radji Barrett Jiu-Jitsu on Instagram, and also go to his website, RadjiBarrettJiu-Jitsu.com. You can check out the schedule. There's open mats on the weekends if you guys just want to come in and check it out. They got everything you need to just come in, and we're pretty sure that you get hooked. It's a great school, great culture. Come meet us. Come meet the rest of the guys and
Come
girls.
on.
It's amazing. Check out our gear.
Change your life.
Check out our gear. We have new rash guards coming. We have an announcement. We have new patches. We have long sleeve rash guards on the way. A lot of really great stuff. As soon as they arrive, we'll let you guys know firsthand. We're going to be having some contests, some giveaways live on the show here as well. So we're putting together some of that stuff up for next time.
I want free things.
Everybody wants free things. It's amazing. Your support is continuingly to helping us grow. Like, subscribe, comment, all of that. You guys have been amazing. Thank you so much for tonight's show. We're really, really happy with it. So thanks again, and we'll see you guys next week.